which our original plants, both of them, the first one and then this one, used free chlorine, which we can do for 60, you said 60 days.
60 to 90, we have to get the
Okay,
conditional use.
but the trouble is, then that causes problems out in your distribution system if you don't take care of it. Where we're being told chlorine dioxide at about $30,000 for all of the equipment to install it, then we would have an on-site backup that if ozone was not working, we could immediately go to this product, which doesn't create the residuals in the system for the future.
Well, we have to go to a backup. I mean, it's here,
Yeah,
I
then-
believe.
Well, I mean, you would have basically 90 days to put it in at that time. I mean, at least this way we're set up ahead of time if we need it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, there's a short lifespan on those ozone generators. Yeah, we didn't hear that when we first went to them.
They probably didn't know.
You know,
No, and I think that was the big thing, I think that there was such an unknown that, you know, with what the engineers were selling, you know, I mean, and it is a great thing, but
well, my question is, if the other ozone generator goes down, is this chlorine dioxide a permanent fix for us then? Will we add more
it
to
could be, we, in my preliminary discussions with, the gal that, it's DNF Solutions, I believe, out in Overland Park, you know, she would come in, her company would come in, and yes, they would have us ready to be able to do that if we
Do a permanent fix?
Yeah.
And that was-
Obviously, we can't afford it, ozone.
No.
No, and for the 30,000 was just, she threw that out for me as a preliminary to bring to you guys that, with the size of our system, the amount of gallons we produce a day, she thought she could cut that down drastically. And not only in the long run there, you know, with chlorine dioxide, you're gonna end up using actually less chlorine. So there would be a savings chemical out of there as well.
Cost of.
Yeah, for production.
So the guy's proposal this evening really is, we had set aside to rebuild one generator this year in the budget, in the capital improvements, okay? They're asking permission to change that, use that money to get the back truck to take care of the sediment buildups that occur. The cleaner we can keep that pit for Jason, the easier it is to maintain the levels. Okay? The second piece of it is to go ahead and install permanently a chlorine dioxide backup system. Would not be put into use initially. We would continue to use it, the ozone. And really the ozone, the biggest benefit that occurs to it is when we're dealing with the algae bloom. The other time of the year, we may not have to run it if we go to this chlorine dioxide treatment. And then the third piece that they're asking for the reallocation of this money that was set aside to rebuild an ozone generator, then is to upgrade that equipment that's now obsolete. And part of the upgrade, the new equipment has the ability to work with our water treatment, regardless of primary disinfectant. So if we're using ozone, it still works. If we're using chlorine dioxide, it still works. The guys have done a lot of research. I applaud them for all of their, they've had two different representatives from Kansas Rural Water. We contacted Suez Solutions, which is the company that'll be redoing our water towers. And they've got their ozone expert and water plant expert looking into what else could we fix without going into a major rebuild.
Any questions?
Okay, was the back a trailer?
Yeah, it's a trailer, and not only that we can use it for that, but it'll assist us in our, any excavations we got, we can use it for cleaning out meter pits. valve body kits, I mean, it's got numerous. I mean, it won't strictly be for the, we'll be using it throughout, whatever. And a lot of it will be when we excavate, finding, lines, gas lines, fiber optics, all that stuff, cause, you know, if you hit one fiber optic, that machine don't cost nothing, anyway, but it will have other uses. I mean, it will be used and be really handy.
Use it on sewer too.
Yes, we can, yeah, any sewer, we can suck out something that's backed up, if a pit's backed up, you know, in the street and manhole, we can suck it out, we can suck out culverts that are plugged, anything. It's
It's just a giant vacuum.
basically a giant vacuum with the pressure washer on it, too, that, you know, you just pressure your way down with the water, that way you're not digging, you find your phone lines, fiber optics, gas lines, before you dig, you know their depth. It's an insurance policy for the city, basically, too.
Well, I would move to approve the reallocation of funds budgeted for repairs to the ozone generator in 2021 to be used for the purchase of backup chlorine dioxide primary sanitation system with monitoring equipment upgrades and the acquisition of a back trailer to be used in the water plant settling basin. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0.
Jason, could I ask your last name?
Wheeler?
Wheeler, okay. Sorry, I didn't know you.
That's all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Number 21, follow-up employee retention and recruitment discussion. Roger and I met with all the employees, Tuesday of this month, first Tuesday of this month. And, we went through all of the things that we discussed in our work session in regards to them. And just kind of give you an update of what they were specifically in favor of. They thought that, aligning the holidays with the county's holidays would be essential for them. The problem they have is they've got trash pickup, you know, on that holiday that they're not off, that the county is, but the county transfer station's closed. And that creates a problem specifically for a trash truck, because you leave that trash on that truck, there's a possibility of it catching on fire. That's one of the things they talked about. It would require the addition of Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, and Columbus Day. It'd be 3 holidays. Am I right on that portion?
That's correct, and that would align with what our current holidays are and what the county's.
Right. The second thing we discussed was service awards and, recognition, so on, and they were very receptive to that. So, that's one thing that, they just didn't agree with. Tuition reimbursement, actually, right now, on our current employees, if we give them if we send them to a school, you know, for example, Jason would go to a water plant, you know, seminar or whatever, we pay for that in. And, that's basically all they were concerned with. The other thing that they were very favorable about was the, providing the discount to the city's utility for them, which that would be, in my opinion, would be a good thing too, for retention. The employee referral bonus, that wasn't a high priority for them, but they thought it was a good idea. Although, we talked about, I think in our work session, a shorter period of time. And,
Could you please take your discussion out?
we talked about a short period of time, like 90 days or something. They actually wanted to increase that quite a bit. And the employee bonus sign-on, they thought that would be okay, wasn't a high priority, but, they thought 2 years would be a good length of time for an employee bonus. And that might not be a bad idea, make sure that individual's gonna stay. Relocation assistance, they weren't, that was not a high priority thing So I think what we're bringing to you today is basically, if the council would approve the discount for the utility rate and the line of holidays, that's what that was their two main things that they was interested in, so I'll open up for discussion.
I'm not for that 20% retail price, I'm
I'm sorry,
sorry.
I can't
I'm
hear
not
you.
for that 20%. You know, here we're talking about bunches of money. I like this recruitment program, that's good. But this 20% retail price for employees off, I don't agree with that.
I kinda agree with Jerry, because I looked further back in the past where Roger had presented us with rates that's gonna be increased in the future. We know water rates are going to go up, and I just did some quick math and found out that they're either gonna go up 42%, 35%, or 32.4%. And electrical's going up to about 2 cents per kilowatt. We've got a lot of seniors down in this city, with over 65 that lives on less than $600 a month. And it's a decision whether to pay the utilities or buy medicine. So I don't think I can go along with that 20% either.
Well, I don't think we're talking about an enormous amount of money. And my concern is that we budgeted a 2% next year increase for the employees, and the cost of living went up to 5.7%. You know, we're kinda going backwards with it. This would be something that would kinda help them. Let's either do this or let's give them a bigger pay rate to help them meet these obligations.
I could support it, the utility discount.
Didn't you talk about that in our meeting, in our special meeting,
Mhm.
about how much it might
Yeah.
be,
Yes,
and it really wasn't that much, right?
no, because it only is for the primary residents, and they have to be
The city.
in our service area. And
Like
when I
Jason
projected
wouldn't
it out-
qualify.
Pardon?
Jason wouldn't qualify, cause he lives out
Right.
Or two.
Okay, let's just take, for example, Tiff and Clinton, do they only qualify for one discount?
And
For
they have
one
one
per
primary
household.
residence.
The household.
No, I don't know how we can do this to the seniors, we're getting ready to give them a raise probably in April anyway, and the average income for people over 65 is about 33,000.
Well, they're looking at gas prices, it's raised up over $1.50 for the last year, it's probably gonna go up again next year.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
think-
grocery prices, it's increased, you're talking about 5.9 or 5.7% social security increase. And, everybody's getting that increase through social security. And
What
our
we're
people.
talking about too is retention of employees, and we're
Yeah.
gonna spend money to do it. We're not just gonna say, boy, let's keep our employees, but not do anything, not spend any money. We're gonna have to spend some money. If we have to raise some tax somewhere, or do something, we may have to do it. It's not gonna be free.
It's not an attack on seniors, I mean, it's everybody, I feel it's an attack at all. Yeah, we're not gonna have employees if we don't do something about it. Just ask a lot of the businesses around town that can't find help.
Yeah. Any further discussion?
So if we approve one or two of these right now, what happens to these others? Do they hang out there and we'll consider them later, or are we dropping them for now?
I think we would probably look at them at a later date.
Because they weren't that fond of the other two.
No,
There was only two they didn't like.
the two things that they focused on, the main things that I gathered from them was the line of holidays and the employee discount.
Which is pretty considerate.
Yeah.
Of course, we really didn't come away from the meeting with the employees that the others were any kind of deal breaker. They're just looking for a way to feel appreciated waste deep in the sewer tank. But yet they do that for us every day. They're just asking, help us with the alignment on the holidays because it creates frustration for them. And then the utility discount, you know, if you work for a private entity, you get some kind of additional perk. You get a discount on whatever product, free banking services, whatever. There's perks that go along with that. In ours, the perk, we've got a better than average retirement plan. So hopefully our employees aren't stuck with the average that you're talking about for seniors. It all comes to pre-planning and taking care of your employees. So given that this is a perk that doesn't change our cost structure, it comes out of margins that's produced.
But we lose the revenue that comes in from that.
Absolutely, but if I don't have employees to do the work, revenue. In the business I grew up in, it's called the death spiral. You can cut operating costs, then you cut customer service and output. Then you cut costs again, and you just end up putting yourself into that spiral, and you never break it.
When you don't think they're happy with us giving them the benefit package of paying 100% health and life insurance and 25% on family. I kind of figured this out, and the lowest, like, adding in the benefits to the current rate, hourly rate, the lowest employee we have is paid $17 an hour, and that's not a bad wage, and it goes from anywhere from 17 to 22, 46, 30, 31, 26, 32, you know, and that's not a bad wage for a small town.
Benefits don't pay the bills, though.
No.
And the bills are increasing tremendously, we're all under that.
The fact is though, Dave, if we didn't pay those benefits and those employees had to pay those benefits, then they wouldn't have worked.
If the employees had to pay those benefits, we wouldn't have any employees.
Yeah.
And we're already working shorthanded, but that's the whole reason we came to the table to talk about this stuff, because we have a shortage of employees, and they're doing a wonderful job with what they've got.
They certainly are.
Okay, well, let's reward them in some fashion to try to keep them here, because we've got some employees that's probably looking around for more funds, more money. And this is what we came to the table with, and these are some of the ideas, and I thought at the time, when we had our work session, that everybody was kind of in favor of the discount utility rate.
I wasn't, because I knew what it was gonna do to the seniors, and I knew this rate
What's it gonna do to the
How does it
seniors?
affect the seniors?
I don't understand why you think that's gonna affect the seniors.
because we're getting ready to sock on a water rate of 42, 35, or 32%. And what that's gonna do is, the more money that we put out, the more taxes we're gonna have to pay. I'm sorry, I agree, and I appreciate the fact that they are hard workers, and they do a good job. But at this time, I just don't see how we can do it.
Well, I don't think words mean much to them, but a benefit like this would.
Now, this winter, it's gonna be different when KDOT has hit these roads, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Maybe people staying home.
Fuck, yeah.
I mean, you won't be out in the highway, they won't be turning around.
Well,
Then
first
they'll
off.
have to shop
go
in
ahead.
town.
Yeah. First off, I'd like to move to approve the addition of Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Columbus Day, and recognize and supported holidays for city personnel. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Could we have discussion?
I'm sorry.
Could we have some discussion on
Okay.
the calendar?
Go ahead.
Okay, your purpose is to align the city calendar with the county, is that correct? So the holidays match?
That's
Is that
an
what you're-
example.
Okay. Well, I requested a 2022 holiday calendar from the county, and they show December 31st as a New Year's Day holiday. They're taking it on the 3rd, or the 31st instead of Friday, January 3rd. So are we gonna change that, or are we gonna leave it like it is?
That's the next action item on the council's agenda. You all can modify whatever you want to on that calendar at that point. The discussion at this point is, acting Mayor Mayfield. There's a motion and a second on the table, trying to address the employee retention.
I thought he said calendar.
Pardon me?
I said, I thought
He
he
said
said
to
calendar.
add those holidays, he didn't say what day.
Add those holidays. You want me to read it again?
No.
Okay. Call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1. Number 22, the approval of the 2022 payroll and holiday calendar.
May I ask, is there going to be no decision this evening
Oh,
regarding
I'm sorry.
the utility that's been discussed?
Yes. I move to instruct the staff to create revisions to the personnel policy for the creation of a 20% utility discount incentive on employees' primary residence within the city service area. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-2. Now, number 22, approval of 2022 payroll and holiday calendar. Tiffany?
What we have provided in the packet, is the 2022 pay schedule, pay periods, pay dates, all of that. And then at the bottom, the 2022 holiday schedule as well. We have included the holidays, that we were requesting, to align with the county on the bottom there. But to Ruth's question, there's that's up to council. If you guys wish to change that, by all means, our personnel policy does state, that we will take the day after the New Year's. If it falls on the weekend, we take the day after, so that's simply why that's in there. But that's totally up to you guys if you wish to change that.
Any questions?
Well, I just feel that if we're gonna align with the county, then we should follow their example and do the 31st as New Year's Day, instead of the 3rd.
31st is a Saturday. But
Then-
the 30th off for New
It'd be
Year's.
2021. We'd have to take New Year's Day.
This is 2021.
I'm sorry, would you say that again?
We're in 2021.
I know, but that's when they take the New Year's holiday, is 2021, instead of taking January the 3rd.
What
The
day
county's
So they
taking
take
it
off
on
December
Friday.
31st of this year, is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
I personally, I would have a concern because that's when we do our year end, and get everything wrapped up. Becky and I have a very busy day that day, so we would either have to push that up or push it back to January. I guess depending on, we would have to rework our schedules for that.
Okay, and then on Christmas, they take the 23rd and the 26th, which is a Friday and a Monday.
This year?
This is 2022.
Oh, 2022. Christmas is on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They'll take the day after. And they'll take the Friday before. I'm just throwing that out there, if you're saying you wanna align with the county, so here's your schedule they sent.
Sure, that was that last topic. Now this one is different, and what we have provided here is what our policy states. So if you wish to change that, that's great. I mean, whatever. And then we'll just follow that, but we need your direction to know if you want to go off of what the policy states now, That would be up to you guys, we would need additional.
Well, I'm just getting the message that you want to align with the county, but you don't really want to align with the county, because we've got policies in place.
I think we're kind of nitpicking at this point. They're trying to do best by the employees of the city, and you're just kind of picking at everything you say at this point.
Any further discussion?
Okay, I'm just a little bit confused here. Now, you said that it's the Monday after if it ends on, if it's the holidays on the weekend, is that correct? Or is it the Friday?
What holiday are you talking about?
Any holiday.
Um,
Of course, Columbus Day is always on a Monday,
right,
so they would always be off on that Monday. What's the other two we're adding?
President's Day and Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
And they're both on Mondays as well.
That's correct.
So the three
Federal.
holidays we're adding are on a Monday anyway.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other discussion? I move to approve the employee pay period calendar for 2022. Is there a second? Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. Council, anyone have anything they want to address? Council?
I do. I'm sorry, I went on this meeting a little bit long. Bob Meisinger caught me after church Sunday, and this is basically for you, Tim. The church installed a split unit, which is a heater and an air conditioner in the pastor's office, and they did that in 2018, I believe. Anyway, when they had that installed, the electrician said it was necessary to have a surge protector, okay? And they have a dedicated line to this unit. And they had to call the electrician out this last week. An electrician ran the voltage on that line that comes into this split unit. And he says it's too high and that surge protector is stopping it. And it won't let it go into the unit to make the unit work. And he
Okay.
was wondering if the city could come up and check the voltage.
Yes.
He was also gonna, Fleming's is the one that checked it, but he was also gonna call Funk's to come over and check it today.
Okay.
So here's the information on it. I do, okay. Thank you.
Check it out.
And then Clinton's not here, so I'll just hold this until.
Good idea.
He's here.
He's
Clinton,
not an idea.
when did you come in?